I'm Annie Sims. I'm the Public Information Officer with the Winston-Salem Police Department. Public safety remains our top priority. Before we begin, we are asking for the public's assistance with this investigation. Please review the information displayed on the screen. The QR code will direct you to connectwinstonsalem.org, our residential camera registry. We encourage residents to register their cameras. We also ask members of our business community to contact our real-time crime center at 336-773-7720 to discuss camera integration. At this time, I will invite Captain Burns up to the podium to provide additional information on the individuals involved and to walk through the events that occurred this morning at Leinbach Park. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On Monday, April 20th, 2026, at approximately 9:52 a.m., the Winston-Salem Police Department responded to Leinbach Park, located at 3511 Sally Kirk Road. It was in reference to a reported fight in progress. While officers were en route, additional information was received indicating that shots had been fired and that multiple individuals had been struck by gunfire. Upon arrival, officers observed a group of individuals fleeing the area. In the parking lot, officers located a 17-year-old male who was later identified as Urube Romero Medina, suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. A second victim, identified as 16-year-old Daniel Jimenez Million, was located further inside the park, also suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced deceased at the scene as well. Additional victims were located in the parking lot of 3474 Robin Hood Road. These individuals all sustained gunshot wounds, which ranged from critical to minor injuries. They include one 14-year-old female, one 15-year-old female, one 17-year-old female, one 18-year-old male, and one 19-year-old female. In accordance with North Carolina law, the names of the juvenile victims will not be released. At this time, the name of the adult victim is also being withheld pending further investigation into their involvement. Earlier today, we withheld information on the involved individuals until proper notifications to the family could be made, as this is a top priority for the Winston-Salem Police Department. We can confirm at this point that there was a total of 7 individuals were struck by gunfire. Detectives are actively working to determine each individual's role in this incident. Preliminary information indicates that some of those injured may have also been involved in the shooting. The investigation has revealed that this incident stemmed from a group of juveniles gathering at the park for a pre-planned fight. We want to be clear that this incident did not occur on school grounds. It was isolated to Leinbach Park. As a reminder, anyone with information about an incident should call our non-emergency number at 336-773-7700. Anonymous tips can be submitted through Crime Stoppers by calling 336-727-2800 for English or 336-728-3904 for Spanish. Individuals can also use a text-to-tip program at 336-276-1717 to send text, photo, or video tips directly to Winston-Salem Police Department detectives. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Chief Penn.
I want to begin by offering our sincerest condolences to those we lost today. Also, would like to acknowledge and thank the governor for calling to check on what was going on here in Winston-Salem today, and all of our first responders from every level, federal, state, local, who came to help out today. First, I need to acknowledge the fear and frustration that our community must be experiencing right now. And I want to let them know I share that same fear and frustration. Firearms are the #1 killer of kids 1 to 17 in our nation now. It's also our 98th mass shooting in our country. So I share that fear and that frustration. So what I'd like to say to those families and parents who are concerned is to continue to have the conversation with our kids. We got to tell them to stay away from fights. I feel like I just had the same conversation about our cell phones and fights and how just having those phones out, how that changes the behavior of our youth. And I'm saying it again. Stay away from the fights. It's not the same as it used to be. I know I sound like the grumpy old man when I say that, but these fights now lead to weapons and shootings and videos, and we don't come back from that. I also want to say, and don't read into what I'm saying here, you have to stay engaged with our youth. Parents, adults, whoever. It's not just our job to investigate these crimes, but also to tell you what's going on. So when the sheriff says we have a weapons problem in the school, we need adults to take action with that. That means checking book bags before you leave. Then so be it. So when I say, hey, we're having problems with kids going out unsupervised in the streets, that means you need to keep up with where your children are. That's why I'm giving that information. Because if I thought that just arresting folks was the answer, we do that. And guess what? We have done that. And we're still running into the same issues. It's called public safety because we all play a role. So I'm not saying that didn't happen today. What I'm saying is we're going to have to come together. We're going to have to work together, play our role for this community to be safe. This time I'm going to pass it off to my partner in crime fighting, Sheriff Kimbrough.
Appreciate you, Chief. Appreciate you. I just want to echo what the Chief said, is that giving condolences to the community. I know it's a sad day in our community. I understand the frustration that he's feeling, and what he said echoes home is that while it's a sad day, it could have been a worse day. I just want to piggyback off of what he said, and that's simple as that the police and the sheriff can't give our children moral compass. They can't. You know, my question would be to the auntie, the mother, the grandmother, what are you going to do to make sure the next notification doesn't at your door? What are we going to do as a community to make sure that we are doing something collectively as a community to make sure that we stop this senselessness? What I can tell you is that there is no shortage of guns in our community. There is no shortage. And at the same time, there is no gun sensitivity amongst our youth. What I'm telling you is that they're using guns like they use their cell phones, indiscriminately. And we as a community, as he said, public safety, we have an obligation to ask our children questions to ensure that the public is safe. And I still stand and say that we still have a safe community in spite of what has happened today, in spite of. But here's what I want to leave you with. What we start to accept, you best start expecting it. So what I'm saying is we cannot accept this, nor will we expect it. We will not accept it. And again, my prayers and my condolences are to the family, and even to the men and the women that had to endure the tragedy of running up on that, seeing that as first responders. I want to thank everybody that took part in that, as he said, from the local, state, and federal government. Again, my prayers are with the family. Thank you.
I'm Jim O'Neill. I'm the Forsyth County District Attorney. In about an hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to be out on a ball field coaching 30 young men and explain to them today about what happened in our community this morning. None of those 30 boys are my own, but I choose to continue to try to spread the word to young men that you can't engage in a fight with someone. It's just different from when I was a kid. You don't know who's going to pull out a gun and start shooting. And that's a sad reality. This is a safe community. Winston-Salem, we are seeing record numbers of decreases in violent crime. It is because of community leaders. I know Robert Clark is sitting with us. I'm blessed to have a police chief and a sheriff in this community that stand with me, and we stand together. And our message is always the same. We will not tolerate violent crime in this community. They will make the arrests, they're men and women, and law enforcement will make arrests, and we will prosecute the individuals that would harm others in violent ways to the fullest extent of the law. To this community, I would say, please continue to support our men and women in law enforcement. I can't help but believe that somebody out there would have known about this fight taking place this morning and didn't pick up a phone and anonymously call, and this could have been averted. There is incredible sadness and tragedy in the homes of our neighbors tonight, and it all could have been averted. I ask you to please speak with your children, go out and volunteer, speak with other children, so that we don't lose more children in the days and weeks to come.
I'm going to let Chief Penn say a couple more things before we open up for clarifying questions. We will be sending a news release with the spelling of the names as well as the ages of all the victims. So I'm going to step aside and let him come back.
Real quick, the sheriff and the DA mentioned the violent crime numbers in Winston-Salem being safe. And when you say that after a tragic event, it could come across a tad bit tone deaf. So let me say this, because I said it last year. I stated that Winston-Salem is a safe city, and it is. I told you all that it is less safe for some. If you're participating in gang violence, if you're at a 2 to 6, if you're living a violent lifestyle, it is less safe for you. So I just thought that I needed to say that for our community so that they understand the double-digit decrease in violence over the last couple of years does exist. However, we can make it safer. We can do better.
What questions do you guys have?
Chief, was this gang related?
Right now, the investigation doesn't state that it is, but you know, if I thought it was, if we thought it was, if the investigation told us that, I would say so.
Were these Winston-Salem and school students?
So we're gonna let the school systems answer that question. We won't get into that.
You talked about the 17-year-old male, the 16-year-old male that died. Were they the ones that were, for lack of a better word, scheduled to fight, or were they just some of the people that were there that this morning?
Yeah, so, yeah, that's something that we can't answer right now.
Has anyone been taken into custody, or are there any charges expected?
No one in custody right now, and we'll let the investigation lead us to that second question.
Do we know how many guns were used?
Too early, and I apologize. You know how this goes.
Could you make an approximate number about how many witnesses, victims, in the area? Like, were there a whole lot of people there in the park anticipating this fight to happen?
Yeah, so a whole lot is relative. No, we can't. We're hoping that there's some folks who are going to give us a call, who were there, who can give us more information.
But do you think if it was a large gathering of students, or not students, a large gathering of people, or?
So we know it was more people than we just listed, and that's about all I can go into.
Do you know if there were people in the park, walking or, using the park just for the recreation?
No, I can't answer that.
Okay.
Now, Chief, you called this a mass shooting. Can you just walk me through what you're feeling right now, knowing that something like that happened here in Winston-Salem?
Well, I feel like everyone else. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm sad. This didn't have to happen. It's senseless. And hopefully we as a community kind of get fed up together and just get more involved, get more nosy. Let's question our kids like you all question us, like you're questioning me. Those follow-up questions are, where are you going? Who are you going with? What's their parents' phone numbers? Let's get back to that.
Do we know what the fight was about?
No.
And was the shooting itself confined to the park, and were, the kids at Jefferson in any sort of range of some of the bullets being within proximity of the school?
Looks like it was confined to the park. But as you know, rounds can go whenever, so.
Some of the press releases are just releases in general indicated individuals. Do you know how many people were actually adversarial?
No, we don't have that at this time, and that's all the questions we're going to take. Again, we know your frustration, but it is an ongoing investigation, and some of the answers we simply do not have ourselves. So if you have any other follow-ups, you can come see me after the conclusion of the news conference, and we will provide updates as necessary. Thank you.